So in the aftermath of the Detroit Lions losing to the Washington Commanders in the NFC divisional round playoffs just about a week ago, it had me thinking about player accountability. And why am I thinking about that is because the players for the Detroit Lions refused to lay the blame on Jared Goff, the quarterback of the Lions. And then as far as I'm concerned, he is the reason why they lost. But nobody really is going to throw him under the bus like that. Even though we're in a social media era where players are doing and saying a whole lot more because they have social media accounts and they can say it. They have podcasts where they can say it. But that game was an example of a guy that should have been thrown under the bus. Jared Goff threw 3 interceptions. One of them was a pick 6, and he fumbled the ball. And that was more than anything else was the reason why Detroit lost. And that needed to be said. There's been other bad performances from other quarterbacks throughout NFL playoff history. Jared Goff is not the only one. But that was a prime example of a quarterback, of a player, a quarterback in particular. And it's usually the quarterback, the most important position in the NFL, in all of pro sports. That was a prime example of a quarterback throwing away the game. Now, I know the Lions defense ain't all that, but you can't continue to put any defense in a position where they're playing catch up because you threw 3 picks and a fumble. It just can't be done. So this is where you need a player to be like, look, nobody. I don't want to say it, but I gotta say it, man. Our quarterback. That's the reason why we lost. You know what I mean? It's got to be a star player that has a lot of cachet, so to speak. But, if we can get one person to say it and not say it on their social media account or in a podcast weeks later, say it in the locker room after the game or the day after. Just got to be straight up with it. That would change. I think that for the better, that would change the accountability in all of pro sports. It really would. If you could just step up and put the blame on the player that when it lays at the feet of the player that did it, they should say it. It's hard, but I think it should be done.